Okay, welcome back. So the next part of this video, we're going to talk about extruding. Reminder that the goal of this is to understand the difference between design and the sketching space, and then how to use bodies and pay attention to the sketches inside of the browser, with the ultimate goal of 3D printing and laser cutting. So I've finished my sketch, and this is what it looks like. I added a couple of things to just remember. I can click on here, hold down Control, go to Edit, and then something else in this Modify tool that I was working on is you can also use this, it's called Fillet. So inside of this fillet, I can click one edge, click another edge, and see how it kind of curves the edge for me. So it's just another little tool you can use if you'd like to in the sketching mode, okay? I think I'm gonna, yeah, all right? So that's just another little tool that you can use in sketching if you'd like. So now we'll go back to that isometric view, and now I've got my sketch. You see how that's the sketch there. I'm gonna change this and say name keychain. Okay, so that's just again to keep things organized. If you click again, name keychain. Okay, good. So now I've got this sketch all finished, and now I'm ready to extrude it. So the way that I extrude this is I'm back in this design mode. Yep, I'm not in the sketch mode. So I'm going to use the inside this create. You can either see it's extrude. I can click the button here, or I can even just press E, and it also brings up the extrude window too. So to start off with, I just want to extrude this key ring. So I can push it up, but to select, see how inside here, as I do it, it only gives me this option, but I really want to get both. So the way I can get both is I can click this, hold down, and then I can extrude it up. So for this project, you can move it up as much as you'd like with your just using the cursor, or again, you can type it in and say a specific amount, or just go ahead and type it in so you know how much it is. Up, my sketch went away. So here's where understanding that understanding the browser is important. So over here, if I turn the bodies off, the bodies goes away. But here, the sketches were turned off and the sketch went away. So now I just click it again, this little eye next to it, and it will pop back on, okay? So you can see it back, turn it off, turn it on, all right? Now, before we go too far, another thing you wanna do, see how there was a new body created? I wanna click in here and give this a name too, say keychain ring. Okay, because that's where the ring is, and then all the other parts are the letters that I'm going to use. So now I can just move along and keep extruding. Remember, hold down Shift if you want to add more than that one object. So you can either make it bigger or smaller, it's up to you, or however you want to extrude. Remember, I'm just clicking E, so that's going up like that. But this next step, one thing you want to do is pay attention to this window, all right? This pops up. Join, what happens is if I click join, it's going to just make this one piece, okay? Versus over here, if you see in my bodies, what I've done is I've created a N, so see how it's a different body. Again, this is really important to just keep your work organized, okay? So I don't want to do the extrude and have it join. What I want to do is extrude, and I want it to create, you click this drop down, a new body, okay? So I click a new body, and the new body pops up here. Over here, change it to N, all right? So really pay attention to that as you're working through all of this different extruding parts, okay? Extrude it back up. This one I want it to be up, I missed a piece, so I'll click that, move it up a bit. 8. I don't want it to join, remember. I want it to be a new body. Okay. Change it. O. Enter. And then I'm going to do the A. Clicking the extrude. Okay. Not join again. New body. Okay. A. Extrude. Push it up a bit. Last one, remember not to join, to create a new body. And there's my H, all right? So there you have it. That's just extruding your sketch, and now you can see that all I've got is this model, okay? Is the design, yeah? Scroll, move around, you can see what it looks like, making sure that it's all been extruded correctly. Another thing if you wanted to do, and this is just depends on your design, you can also extrude up this little outside if you want. So see how I can move that up just a little bit, maybe a millimeter or two, no joining, but creating a new body. Up a bit. I want to create a new body, remember? And this one, call it the base if you'd like. If not, you don't have to, but just so you see, here's another part of your design. Whoa. Whoops. Okay, so see how that came out? Good. So another thing, just to remind you, or just so you know, if I turn all these bodies off and I go back into my sketch and say, I go back in, and so say I want to move this or make this a little bit bigger or modify my line or pull something out. Let's try to move this one down a bit just so you get to see how it could look. Yeah, or if I want to maybe make this spot a little bit smaller. Yeah, so as I modify this sketch, finish sketch, as I modify the sketch and then turn my bodies back on, the bodies change with the sketch. So it's a nice little feature, and it's a really nice thing for you to pay attention to as you're working. So this is something really simple, but it's really important to keep organized. Okay? Last thing that I want to add a little final touch to, inside modifying. So I'm doing this one for my son, and I want to make sure I've got some nice smooth edges. So what I can use is inside modify. I'm in the design mode, not the sketch mode. Inside modify, I can use this tool fillet or chamfer. So what this does is it gives me a nice little smooth edge around my pieces. Okay, say okay. So see how that's given a little smooth edge to that O? Then I can keep going, and I can either click it, find it in here, it's up to you, or you can try the chamfer one as well too. Okay, hold down shift because I want to do a few different lines, and same thing, just push it in a little bit. Okay, so you see you could keep going and just make some of those lines smoother if you would like to have some nice smooth edges. Okay, so for now, that's the final goal. Just make sure that you pay attention to in your browser, make sure you're labeling, and this is where you should be at right about now. We'll talk about the next steps. There's a few other things to do with 3D printing, how to send it out, and make sure that it's in Cura. Okay? Good job, keep up the good work, and talk to you soon.